Exterior, forest, night. Panting echoes through the claustrophobic trees. Branches break as the hurried form of a warrior, 24, wearing dented pieces of what was once plate mail stumbles along. The warrior trips and slams into a tree. He glances behind him with wide, panicked eyes peering through a cracked visor. Seeing an unending darkness, the warrior reaches a hand down and checks the bleeding wound in his side. He winces at the touch of his hand. The crack of a branch in the distance gets his attention once more, and the warrior continues on his path. He sees nothing ahead, but knows what is behind. The trees seem to close in as the panting gets faster and faster. He stumbles and pushes and strains before, exterior, clearing, night. The warrior breaks free of the trees of the crash and lands face down in a clearing of soft grass. He catches his breath. The warrior strains to his hands and knees before looking up. At the center of the clearing sits a flickering campfire with a knight sporting unblemished plate mail sitting beside it. The warrior rises to his feet and hobbles his way over to the warmth of the fire. Reaching it, he drops to the ground and leans back against a large stone. "Mind if I join you?" "Seems you already have. Would be rude to send you on your way now." The warrior chuckles and removes his helmet. His breathing slows as he relaxes. The warrior looks over at the unmoving suit of armor that is the knight. Reflections of fire dance along the metal, highlighting a knife stored on the breastplate. "What brings you to the middle of the woods, knight?" I sense judgment in that question. The warrior smiles. "I suppose there is some, yes. This isn't the kind of place I would expect to run into someone." "Likewise." The warrior chuckles and sits up, wincing at the wound in his side. He looks over the knight's belongings. "You wouldn't happen to have some medicine or bandages, would you?" "I only bring what I need." That being, the knight shifts his arm and grabs a large sword and scabbard off the ground. He plants the tip in the earth, the weight of the blade sinking the scabbard a few inches. "I see, an impressive weapon." The warrior grins. "Although that won't help me with my wounds, unfortunately." The warrior reaches down and tears free a strip of cloth from his undershirt. He holds it to his wound and presses. The warrior grunts in pain. "Just my luck to receive a wound such as this. Heard something fierce." "Luck plays no part in it. The winner in a fight is the more skilled fighter." The warrior narrows his eyes. "I was not bested." "And yet you sit here wounded." The warrior scoffs. "Who are you to judge? From the look of your armor, you've yet to see a fight." "I envy your blacksmith." The warrior jolts from the comment. "What do you mean by that?" "You must be rich if you believe a battle won requires your armor to tell the tale." The warrior scowls. "Are you saying you've yet to be bested?" The knight looks up from the fire, his visor-covered face staring directly at the warrior. "Correct." The knight returns his gaze to the flames. The warrior huffs. The two sit in silence as the fire crackles. In the distance, a branch snaps and the warrior tenses. "Fearful of the foe you vanquished?" The warrior sputters and rises to his feet. "All right, that's it." The warrior draws his sword. "To your feet, knight. I'll not have my name besmirched by the likes of you." The knight remains still. "You wish to duel?" The warrior smirks and gestures with his sword. "It's only natural with the slights you've cast my way, knight." "You're wounded. Sit down." "Scared, are you?" The knight lets out a muffled sigh. "As you wish." The knight slowly rises to his feet, standing taller than the warrior. He holds a scabbard at his side. The warrior's resolve falters, but he regains it. He readies into a stance with his sword. "Sure you want to do this?" The metal clacks as the knight plants a foot back and grips the hilt of his blade. "Are you?" The warrior takes some quick breaths. He circles the knight, who does the same. The campfire casts long shadows behind the two. They stop. A log falls in the fire. The warrior charges, his weapon raised high in the air. A loud clang rings out as the end of the blade flips into the air. It buries itself into the grass mere feet from the warrior, who pants with wide eyes. The warrior looks down at his now broken blade in surprise. He looks over his shoulder to see the knight pause at the end of an upward swing with his blade now unsheathed. The blade glints in the moonlight, nearly 5 feet in length with carefully spaced tallies spanning the length of it. The warrior drops to his knees. The knight sheathes his sword back in the scabbard and turns to face the warrior. "It's time for me to leave. I suggest resting by the fire till morning." The knight begins walking away as the warrior hurriedly spins around on the ground. Wait, you can't leave me here with a broken blade.
I'll be a dead man.
That blade would have been the end of your life in a true fight. Be thankful you've been given another chance. The knight reaches up to the knife stored in his breastplate. He pulls it free. This blade won't break. The knight drops the knife in the grass. You may return it if our paths cross again. Till then, I wish you luck. The warrior watches as the knight vanishes into the overgrowth of the surrounding forest. The fire crackles, causing a glint of light to shine from the knife. The warrior breathes heavy, a shocked expression holding his face. He stands and tosses his broken blade aside before making his way toward the knife. The end.